And quiz will be next week. No? Good luck. Okay, so let's start answering the following items. No? Again, hindi lahat sasagutan ha. Only yung important. I mean, yung kailangan ko lang talaga i-strengthen yung ideas. Yun yung sasagutan natin. Okay. So let's start with number 1, basic round. Basic round talaga. A typical seawater contains 2.7 grams of salt, sodium chloride, per 100 ml. What is the molarity of sodium chloride in the ocean? Okay. So the question here is ano daw yung molarity? So we know that the formula for molarity is capital M equals mole per volume of solution in liters. No? And we can further expand this equation by expressing moles in terms of grams, diba? So we can rewrite the equation as the mass of NaCl divided by the molar mass of NaCl times the volume of the solution in liters. Okay. So that is our expanded equation. Okay, so ayan. Then what's next? At i-plug in. No? So plug in natin 2.7 grams. Yung mass ng NaCl according to the problem. Molar mass. No? So for the molar mass, hindi tayo manghuhula. We have our periodic table with us. So please use that. Yung sinend ko sa inyong PDF and picture, pakisave. Yun yung gagamitin natin na para iisa tayo ng molar mass. Okay? So according to our reference, no, sodium is 22 point, sodium is 22.99990 grams per mole. Cl is 35,453 grams per mole. So you add that, okay? Plus 35,453 will get 58.443 grams per mole. So that's the molar mass of NaCl. And then what's next is the volume of the solution in liters. No? So this is 100 ml. You have to convert this into liters. Ano yung equivalence nila? 1 liter, 1,000 ml. So that means if you're going to convert ml to liters, you divide it by 1,000. No? If you convert liters naman to ml, you multiply it by 1,000. No? So in our case, we will divide this number by 1,000 to make it in liters unit. Basic pa lang, no? Ganun naman talaga dapat. Okay, so cancel yung grams and then we are left with mole and liter units. So the final answer is 0.462. Ito, question, sir. Magma-matter po ba yung sig-fig sa inyo? Hindi. Okay, so yung discussion ng significant figures, baka kasi mas lalo kayong ma-confuse, no? Especially kapag ang dami ng sinosolve. Okay, kasi kunwari, titignan mo to, ay ito 2 significant figures yan. Ito po, ambiguous yan. So, paano na yung sagot mo? Okay, so to resolve those issues ng significant figures, ako, yung ginagawa ko talaga since last semester, ay yung sig-fig ay for sig-fig questions lang. Okay, pero other than that, kahit hindi na tayo mag-sig-fig, no? For calculations, especially in the laboratory, I usually require 2 or 3 decimal places sa final answer. Okay? So, ganun, 2 or 3 decimal places sa final answer. Okay? Kasi pagdating din naman sa multiple choices natin, hindi naman exact yung lalabas. No? Yung medyo malapit lang. Okay? So, ganun. Ganun din naman pag nag-board exam kayo. Solve kayo, hinahanap mo, 462, nakalagay sa boards, 46. Okay na yun, no? So, ganun lang. So, that's how we answer molarity question. So, number 2, di ko nasusagutan. This is very obvious, no? So, easy. Let's have number 3. Dito na tayo mag-start magkagulo. Okay. So, let's have number 3. Find the molarity and the molality of 37% by weight HCl. The density of the reagent is 1.19 grams per ml. Okay. Question. Ano yung molality? Okay. So, ang alam lang natin last time is yung molarity. No? Molarity. So, yun yung capital letter M. We know that molarity is the ratio of the moles of the substance per volume of the solution in liters. Diba? Diba? Okay. So, yan. Hopefully, naalala nyo pa ha. So, that's mole of your substance divided by the volume of solution in liters. Question, what is molality? Nakakabulol siya na molality. So, molality is similar with molarity. Okay? So, similar yan. So, capital M ang molarity. Ang molality ay small letter m. Okay? Okay, so yung equation niya similar din, no? So this is the ratio of the mole of the substance. However, instead of having liters of solution in the denominator, what we will have instead ay yung kilograms of solvent. Okay? So ganun. So molarity is the mole per volume of solution in liters. Pag molality, that's the mole of substance per kilogram of solvent. Okay? Ganun ha, per kilogram solvent. So, mamaya, papakita ko. However, sabi ko nga sa inyo, yung molarity yung gagamitin natin. Yung molarity ang gagamitin sa Anachem because we use molality kapag physical chemistry, no? So, that's chemistry ng physics. Yan. Molality gamit namin doon. Hulaan nyo bakit? Ito, side kwento lang. Bakit kaya molality ginagamit namin sa physical chem instead of molarity? Because in physical chemistry, we are dealing with solutions at different temperature. Ano ba nangyayari sa molarity at different temperature? It changes, di ba? So, nagbabago-bago kasi yung volume ng solution at different temperature. So, that's why molarity is it is not constant. However, yung molality, because parehas mass units yan, yung mole, mass din naman yon, yung kilogram, edi mass yan, obviously. That's fixed all throughout the temperature range, no? So, ganun. So, ganun pa So, yun lang yung difference nila. Similarity, because of the volume factor, iba-iba yan at different temperature. However, molality, that's the same all throughout any temperature scale, no, or any temperature ranges. So, ganun siya ka-versatile. Okay? So, gamitin natin yung dalawang equation na yan. No? So, let's solve first for the molarity. Ano yung info natin pala? Okay, so sabi sa problem, we have 37% by weight HCl and the density of the solution or the density of the reagent. Ito yung question. Remember that percent by weight is a concentration unit, di ba? Percent by weight or percent by mass. Concentration unit yan. Tapos, ang hinahanap sa atin ay molarity, which is another concentration unit. Is it possible for us to convert one concentration unit to the other? Pwede. Okay? So, pwede yan as long as you know the amounts of your substances. Ito, tip number 1. No? Sulat nyo sa notes nyo. Whenever you encounter such problem like this one, yung percent by weight, gagawin mong molarity, or percent volume, gagawin mong molarity, molality, okay? Ito yung gagawin nyo. You assume that the solution is 100 grams. Yun yung tip number 1. Pakisulat. Always assume that the solution is 100 grams in mass, especially when your original concentration unit is percent by weight. Question, why? Kasi, if you have 100 grams of solution, that means kung ano yung percentage ng HCl, yun na rin yung kanyang mass in grams. No? Kasi 37% times 100 grams solution, 37 grams. No? So that means 100 gram solution is composed of 37 grams HCl and the remaining 63 grams will be your solvent. And what is our solvent here? Pag hindi sinabi yung solvent, ano sabi ko last time? Water yon. Okay? So, ganun. Sa analytical chemistry, pag hindi sinabi yung solvent, automatically, water yon. So, ano uli yung tip number 1 ko? Pag percent by weight to other concentration units, always assume that the mass of the solution is 100 grams so that whatever the percentage of your solute is, that is its mass na rin. Okay? So, yun na rin yung mass niya. Ganon. So, from the mass of our HCl, you can solve for the mole of HCl. Okay? So, malapit na tayo matapos sa molarity. Sa molality, kailangan mo rin ng moles ng HCl. So, we're good to go. Ano yung problema? Sa molarity, ano yung nasa denominator nun? That's volume of solution in liters. Ang question, do we have volume of solution? Wala, no? Pero, anyone from the class, no? You can raise your hand, no? Parang ganito lang. Yan, raise your hand or pwede kayo mag-comment sa chat box natin kung may idea kayo, paano kaya kukunin yung volume ng solution. O anyone. How are we going to get an idea kung ano yung volume ng solution? Sige. Matignan yung problem ng maigi. Isip-isip tayo. Okay, so sabi ni McVeigh, so grams to ml, pwede yon using what? Ayun, sabi ni Janica from density. Okay, so tama yung ideas nila. Okay, so we are going to convert the mass of the solution to the volume of the solution using the solution's density. Okay. We know that according to density formula, that's mass over volume. So if you are solving for volume, all you have to do is to cross multiply. So we will end up with the equation mass divided by the density. Okay? So ganun gagawin natin. So to solve for the volume of solution, V solution, that's the mass of solution divided by density of the solution. Please take note ha. Yan. And then plug in. Okay, 100 grams divided by density ng solution. Okay, so we will solve for the volume of the solution na. Calculator, di yan kaya i-mental. So that's 84 point something ml. So ano na lang, 84033. 034 pala. Okay na muna yan. Okay. So that's the volume of solution. Okay. So with that, okay na ba tayo mag-solve ng molarity and molality? Yes na, no? So let's solve for molarity. Okay, so for molarity, That's M equals mole per volume in liter. We can further express that as mass, HCl. Late yung notif sa cellphone. So that's the mass HCl divided by the molar mass HCl times the volume in liters. By the way, yung solutions dito i-upload ko by Sunday. No? Give me time to type the solution. Medyo matagal mag-solve sa Word eh. Although pwede kayo mag-screenshot habang nagsasagot ako ha. So kung hindi nyo na-screenshot yung previous problems, pag na-upload ko sa YouTube, you can take screenshots there. Okay. So yan. So allowed yung ganun. Okay. So mass HCl, ang sabi natin 37 grams HCl. Molar mass ng HCl, according to periodic table, H is 1008, chlorine is 35453. Pag-add nyo lang, 1008, 35453. So that will be 36, 461 gram per mole times the volume of the solution in liters. Hindi na pantay-pantay yung line ko. Okay, so yan, pantay na siya. Okay, so for the volume of the solution in liters, no? So we have 84 ml here. Gaganito na lang gagawin ko ha. Zoom tayo dito. Ay, hindi na pala siya pwede ma-zoom pa. Okay, so ganito gagawin natin dito. So you just copy 84034 and we divide it by 1000 ml per liter. Okay, so ganyan na lang. Let the calculator divide the number. Okay, so cancel mo yung grams, cancel mo yung ml. So you are left with units, mole and liter. No, so yan. So yan, solve na natin. Calcu, pindot-pindot. Gamitin ng calcu kasi pag yan hindi gumana sa quiz, nako po. Yari. Okay, so the molarity is final answer in 2 decimal places. No? So that's 12.08 mole per liter. So that's the molarity of 37% by weight HCl. So ganun lang, no? So we are able to convert one unit to the other, no? Ginawa lang natin, we made use of the density formula and then we assumed certain mass for our solution. Sir, pwede po bang hindi 100 grams? Pwede naman, no? Pwedeng 3.14 grams yung solution mo. Ano yung problem doon? Mahirapan ka pa mag-solve. Mag-assume ka na lang na 100 grams. Okay? Huwag nyo na pahirapan sarili nyo. Okay? So, okay na yan. Okay, what's next is letter B, molality. So, this is new for you. Although naturo na to nung senior high school. Dito ngayon nabubulol-bulol pa tayo. Maski ako nabubulol dyan. Okay. So the difference between molarity and molality is that for molality, the denominator is just the kilograms of the solvent. Okay. Kilogram ng solvent, not the solution. Okay, question. Do we know the mass of the solvent? Yes, no? Ito na yun, oh. Ayan. Yan na yung mass ng solvent. Okay. So, yan. So, since we know the mass of the solvent, we can work on molality calculations now. So, to solve for the moles, that's the same as yung sa molarity. Kopyahin na lang natin. 37 grams, 36,461 Gmol, grams per mole, times yung kilogram ng solvent. So according to our assumption, we have 63 grams of the solvent. Then, convert mo yan to kilograms by dividing it by 1,000. So, divide 1,000. Okay? Then you will see that the units will cancel. Ang matitira ay mole and kilogram. Okay? So, let's look kung ano yung final answer. Let's check. 37, 36, 461. Okay, so the molality in two decimal places is 16.11 mole per kilogram solvent. So that's our solution. No? Yan yung sagot for this problem. So ano yung unang kaalaman? Yun, kailangan mag-assume. Ang itim ko naman sa picture. Maliwanag kasi. So yan yung unang kaalaman natin. Mag-assume. Okay lang sa chemistry mag-assume. Okay, tanggap namin kayo pag nag-assume kayo. Okay, so that's normal. You assume 100 grams solution or 100 ml solution if that's percent volume naman. Okay, and then use the density to get the mass or the volume of the solution. And then finally, you can solve for the other concentration units. Okay, so yun lang. For you to practice this problem, I want you to answer number 4. Okay, so I will need 2 volunteers mamaya. So gagawin ng ating dalawang volunteers that they will upload a picture of their solution dito sa chat box natin, no? So picturean nyo lang, then upload nyo dito sa chat box, no? So 2 volunteers mamaya. So I'll give you 5 minutes to accomplish this question. Question number 4, okay? So I'll be back by mag-alas 2 na pala, no? So 2:03, babalik ako. So, yan, solve kayo number 4. You may want to take screenshot ng solution natin kasi baka mamatay yung screen mamaya. Okay? So, 2:03, babalik ako. Okay, so let's have any volunteers. Please raise your hand na lang. So you will be recognized po. Two volunteers ang need natin. So one will answer molarity, the other will be answer molality. Okay, raise your hand na lang para makita ko yung sasagot. Volunteers, raise your hand na lang. Okay, so let's have Emmanuel for molarity. So comment mo na lang sa chat box yung solution mo. Okay, so thank you. So Emmanuel will answer molarity, and let's have sino for molality. Sino pwedeng volunteer? Sino pwede sa molality? Kapag ang na-solve nyo ay 40 plus, yan, tama yan. Let's have Aryan Dorothy. Okay, so Emmanuel and Aryan will comment their answers sa ating chat box. So let's wait for their solutions. So I will verify muna kung okay yun, then go tayo. So pa-upload na lang ng picture pa. Thank you. Ganito yung ginagawa talaga namin last sem pa na. Okay. You have your solution, Aryan. May solution. Pa-upload na lang if ever. Thank you po. Okay. Okay, so let's check yung kay Emmanuel. Download ko lang yung picture para ma-tilt natin siya. Okay. So si Aryan pa-post na lang ng picture po. Thank you po. Okay, so this is yung kay Emmanuel. So the answer is 28 point something molar, and that's correct. No? So since we have 49% by weight hydrofluoric acid, so that means 49 grams of the solution is hydrofluoric acid, and the remaining 51 grams would be water. No? Assuming that the total mass of the solution is 100 grams. Okay. So we solve for the volume of the solution. So we have 100 grams of the solution. We divide it by the density of the solution. Okay, so we get 86 ml. Then what's next is that we will use the molarity equation. So this is the mass of HF, the molar mass of HF, and we have here the volume converted into liters na. And the final answer would be 28.41 mole per liter. Okay, so thank you. That's correct na. So hopefully ganun din sagot ng iba ha. Okay. So yan. So thank you, Emmanuel. Let's have student ko pala yan dati si Emmanuel. Kaya alam na nila yung gawain namin last time. Okay. Let's have Aryan. Teka lang. Napindot ko yung ano. Pindot ko yung word. Bubukas na naman yan. Setting kay Aryan. Ito ba yan? Tama ba ako na napindot? Ayan. Okay, so the answer is 48 point something. Yung point something, di ko sure yung decimal eh. Pero 48 yun. Okay, so this is Aryan's answer. So from the previous info that we had, so 49 grams yung ating solute, no? This is its molar mass. And yung 51 grams, this is the molar mass of our, I mean the mass of our solvent, no? However, you have to convert this into kilograms of your solvent. So 49 divided by 20 point something times 51 divided by 1000 will give us 48.02 molal, okay, or mole per kilogram. Okay, so both answers are correct na. So hopefully sa iba ganun din ha. Okay. So yan. Ito pa pala, side kwento ko lang no. So if your concentration is high, no, kapag mataas yung concentration nyo, molarity and molality will be very different, no. Magde-deviate sila from one another. So, ganun. Kapag mataas yung concentration masyado ng inyong solute sa solution, masyadong deviated ang molarity sa molality. Pero kapag yan ay mababa, hindi yan masyadong deviated, no? So, ganun. So, tignan nyo yung 49% natin, HF. Ang ang molarity niya ay 28.4 something. Tas ang molality ay 48.0 something. Okay? So, masyadong malaki yung difference. Why? Because the concentration is too high. However, if the concentration is low, for example, this one, medyo magkadikit yung ating answer. If your solution is very dilute, no? Meaning ng very dilute, masyadong onte yung solute sa solvent mo, then the two will approach the same value. Okay? So magiging iisa lang yung sa nila. Magiging isa lang yung numerical equivalence nila. Okay? That is kapag super dilute yung solution. Okay? So that's how we use molarity and molality. However, for the purpose of this semester, focus kayo sa molarity, ha? Although yung molality, pwedeng magparamdam yan. So magpaparamdam yan kung kailan nyo gusto. Okay. So anyway, so let's have another problem. Etong number 5, number 6, I will leave them for you to answer. No? Kayo na bahala dyan. Etong number 5, this is similar with the question sa PowerPoint about barium chloride dihydrate. If you could still remember. Kung ano yung process doon, ganun din yung process dito. Okay? So, sagutan nyo na lang yan at home or after this class. Etong number 6, this is dilution. So, kaya nyo na yan, no? Yan. So, yung answers dyan, i-upload ko naman by Sunday para ma-check nyo kung tama yung mga pinagagawa nyo. By the way, I would like to focus on this unit. Ano meaning yan? Okay. So, ang molarity, no? So, ano yan? Extension yan ng SI unit, no? Kasi concentration unit yan. You can use Greek prefixes with that, no? So, pwede yung millimolar. Okay? Okay. So, kapag may small letter M, capital letter M, that's millimolar. Meron din nanomolar. Meron din naman mga micromolar. No? So, pwede yung mga ganyan. Millimolar, nanomolar, micromolar, no? So, yan. Baka isipin nyo, molality, nabubulol na ako. Molarity, no? So, hindi yan. Okay. Kapag small letter M lang, molality yan. Kapag capital M, ano yan? Molarity. Pag may maliit na M, tapos may katibing malaking M, yung small m na yon, that's a Greek prefix. Okay? So that's millimolar. So what is millimolar? So that is 1/1000 of a molar. No? So ang equivalence niyan, 1 molar is 1,000. millimolar. Yun naman yung definition ng milli, di ba? Kaya nga milli, 1,000. Okay? So, ganun lang. So, kaya nyo na yan, ha? So, I will leave those items for you to practice. Let's have number 7. Itong number 7, this one is tricky. Okay? So, expect na may ganyan sa, may ganyan sa quiz nyo. Although may madali din sa quiz na. Kunwari, what is an electrolyte solution? Adi yun, di ba? No-brainer questions. May mga ganun. As meron namang kailangan ng meron namang questions na kailangan ultra mega brain, no? For example, this one. So let's check this problem. A solution of ammonia in water is called ammonium hydroxide because of the equilibrium. We have ammonia reacting with water and that equilibrates into ammonium ion and hydroxide ion. Okay. Okay, so that's why ammonia is basic because it reacts with water to form hydroxides. No? The density of concentrated ammonium hydroxide, which contains 28% by weight NH3, is 0.899 gram per ml. What volume of this reagent should be diluted to 50 ml to make 250 molar ammonia? So, ano yung pinakapunto ng question na to? So, the main focus of this question ay dilution. Basahin mo yung last part. Ano daw yung volume of your original substance, of your original reagent, no? Ano daw yung volume niya? That should be diluted to the final volume to get the final concentration. So basically, this is dilution problem. So we can use the formula MI VI equals MF VF, no? Or M1 V1 equals M2 V2. Okay? Question. Ano ba dapat concentration unit dito? The concentration unit must be molarity. Okay? Molarity ito. Kasi moles ang usapan. So, most likely, molarity ang gagamitin. Okay. Do we have the concentration of our original substance, yung ating reagent? Yes. Ito yun. Anong problema? Naka-percent by weight. Hindi mo yan pwede gamitin. Percent by weight yan. So, anong pwede gawin? Convert percent by weight to molarity. Okay? And then you will end up with the original concentration. Okay? So, ako na bahala dito. So, ganun ha. Tignan nyo yung problem. Baka ang daming sinabi tapos ang dami rin palang gagawin, no? Or pwede naman ang daming sinabi tapos isa lang pala gagawin mo. Okay? So, ganun kasi yung anachem, no? Kaya sa board exam sa chemistry, dito maraming bumabagsak sa subject na to. May mga kakilala ako, ang score nila sa anachem ay 31% over 100. Meron pa nga 10 lang eh. Yes, ganun kahirap anachem, no? Especially kapag di mo siya naunawaan ng maayos, no? Okay. So, masyadong maraming pwedeng mangyari. Isang maling way lang gawin mo, mali na lahat, sayang score. Okay? So, ganun. Okay, so let's have this one. So, anong gagawin natin? From percent weight, gagawin natin excuse me, gagawin natin molarity. So, usual steps. Punta tayo dito sa gilid. Dito sa gilid na lang. Okay, so, we assume 100 gram solution. Okay, so divide natin yan into two components, the solute and the solvent. So 28% NH3, so that means 28 grams NH3 and 72 grams H2O. And then we solve for the volume of the solution. Paulit-ulit lang tong gagawin natin na to hanggang dulo ng SEM. Kaya kailangan masanay na kayo sa solving na mahaba. So we have 100 grams solution divided by the density of the solution, which is 0.899. Okay. Okay, so the volume of the solution is 111,235 ml. Okay na yan. So we have all the info necessary to convert percent by mass or percent by weight into molarity. Okay? So yan, kompleto na tayo ng info. Ano yon? Mass ng solute and the volume of the solution. Yun lang. Basta alam nyo na yung steps na yan, papasa na kayo na. So yan, ulit-ulit lang naman to. So magsasawa kayo sa iisang sinasolve. So yeah, we have the info for molarity. We can solve for it na. So that's mole ammonia. Expand ko na mole per volume in liter. So that's the mass of ammonia divided by the molar mass of ammonia times the volume of solution in liters. Plug in. So that's 28 grams divided by molar mass ng ammonia. Tignan sa periodic table. So nitrogen is 14,007 and hydrogen is 1.008 times 3. Okay, kasi tatlo yung H sa ammonia. And then we'll get 17,031 Gmol. And then lastly, we will have the volume of the solution in liters. No? So that's times 111,235 ml divided by 1,000 ml per liter. Okay. Cancel, 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 cancel. You're left with moles and liters. No? So, ganun lang. No? Ulit-ulit lang. Basta gamay nyo na siya. Kahit tulog ka, mapapanaginipan mo to. Ganun ako nung college. Papanaginipan ko yung quiz. Alam ko na yung sagot pag nandun ako sa quiz. No? May times na ganun. Pero nung board exam, wala na akong ganun eh. Masyadong malawak pa imagination ko nung bata ako. Tapos, 4 years after, ito na, tinatamad na mabuhay. Okay. So, the molarity is 14.78 mole per liter. Okay. Diba? Ulit-ulit lang. Ganito yung anakem. Basta alam nyo na siya. Alam mo na siya. Ulit-ulit na lang yan. Okay. So, we have the molarity already. So, that is our M1. So, ngayon, punta na tayo sa mismong question. Wala pa tayo sa mismong sagot, ha? Kinuha lang natin yung molarity initial. So, we are asked what is the initial volume that should be diluted to make the final volume and the final concentration. So, the equation to be used there is M1 V1 equals MF VF. No? So we are looking for the initial volume. We already have the initial concentration, no? Which is 14.78. Meron na rin tayong final concentration which is ano, yung 0.25 molar. May final volume na rin tayo which is yung 500 ml. So, ang gagawin na lang natin is to solve for VI. Okay? So, solving for VI, that is MF VF divided by MI. Then we plug in all the information we know. So, that's 0.25 molar. That's the final concentration. 500 ml. That's the final volume. And 1478 molar as our initial concentration. 0.25, 500, 1478. So according to the calculator, we need 8.46. No? Okay, so this is the initial volume that is needed, no, to be diluted to 500 ml. So we will arrive with the final concentration 0.25 molar. Okay? So ganun lang. Okay? Ayan yung mga trick sa Anakem. Ito yung gusto ko sa Anakem. Ang dami mong pwede ipagawa sa bata. Bakit? Kasi imagine nyo, no? Ito lang naman yung gusto malaman. Tapos ang dami pang ginawa bago mag-solve yan. So welcome to Anakem. So ganun na. Yan, medyo masaya to. Especially if math person ka, no? Pero kunwari, nahirapan ka na sa fraction. Kunwari ito, nalito ka na dyan sa fraction na yan. Ano, you have to practice, no? Practice, no? Kaya nga ako nagbibigay ng worksheets, no? Para dito kayo mag-practice. Di ko kayo hayaan mag-quiz na walang practice. Especially sa solving. Okay? Pero yung concept, kaya nyo na yan. Solving yung focus natin. So, ganun lang. Okay? So, let's have the next one. In a gravimetric analysis. Hala, sir, chapter 3 pa yan, ah. Pero pwede na natin gamitin ngayon para may idea na kayo sa conversions. Okay? So, in a gravimetric analysis, we need enough product to weigh accurately. Okay? So, each tablet provides about 15 milligrams of iron. How many tablets should we analyze to provide 0.25 grams of iron 3 oxide? So, ano sabi dyan? So, ganito yung tanong dyan. Ito yung pinaka-question. Ilang tablets ang kailangan natin? So, that will be equivalent to this amount of this substance. Okay? So, kumbaga, this question begs for stoichiometry. Bakit? Paano naging stoichiometry related to? Kasi nga, number 1, gravimetry to. Pag gravimetry, may stoichiometry talaga. Number 2, ano meron? What we know is that kada tablet may ganitong amount ng iron. Tapos ang tanong, gaano karaming tablet na yon yung equivalent sa ganito karaming substance, no? So para masagot natin yung how many tablets are there, we should know first kung ilang iron yung katumbas nito. We should relate it first doon. Ano yung equivalence ng 0.25 grams of iron 3 oxide in terms of iron? So basically, we are going to convert first Fe2O3, iron 3 oxide, into iron. Then pag alam na natin kung gaano karami yung iron that is equivalent to that amount of substance, then we can solve for the number of tablets needed. Okay. Paano mo masosolve yun, sir? Ganito 'di ba sabi? Kada isang tablet, ilang iron? 15 milligram iron. So, kung alam mo na kung gaano karaming iron yung katumbas nito, you can solve now for the amount of tablet. 'Di ba? So, ganun lang gagawin natin. So, basically, mag-ratio and proportion tayo later on. Okay? So, ang first thing na gagawin muna natin dito sa problem na to is to convert this amount of substance to iron. And then later on, once we know the value of X, no, the value of iron, we can compare it with this conversion, no, para malaman yung dami ng tablets na kailangan. Okay? So, ganito yung ganito yung methods of analysis, no. Kailangan nakita mo yung mga possible ways, no, to convert one substance into another arbitrary measurement, no. For example, number of tablets, no. Number of sacks of rice, no. O pwede ganun yung itanong, no. Kunwari, percent nitrogen, how many sack of rice is equivalent to ganitong amount ng nitrogen. Okay? So, pwedeng ganun yung mga question. Okay? So, ganun yung gagawin natin. So, before we start, let's make a flow chart. Ano yung sabi ko sa inyo kanina? We need to convert Fe2O3. So, meron tayong mass ng Fe2O3. gagawin natin siyang mole ng Fe2O3. So that's mass-mole relationship lang yan, triangle lang yan. Okay? Then after converting it to mole Fe2O3, we can convert that to mole iron. And once we get the mole of iron, we can get the mass of iron in milligram. And then eventually, we can check no, kung ilan tablets ang equivalent. No? But tables, number of tablets. Okay, so every time you are working with calculations sa Anachem, for example, ito, gawan nyo ng flowchart, no? Kaya nga uso yung flowchart sa Anachem. Di ba nabigyan ko na kayo ng insight nung day 1 natin? Yan. Puro flowchart kasi sa Anachem. Okay, so ito yung isang example. So this will guide us, no, in order for us to solve the problem. So again, we start by identifying the moles of iron 3 oxide. We convert it to moles ng iron so that we can compare kung gaano karami yung kailangan na iron with how much iron ang meron kada tablet. So we can solve the problem. So this problem involves how many calculation? Isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat. So 4 calculations to. So let's solve. Number 1. So that's mass to mole. Madali lang yan. So paano yan? Edi mass divided by molar mass. Easy, di ba? Easy. Okay, so that's mass of iron 3 oxide. 2.5 pala. Divided by the molar mass of iron 3 oxide. Paki-check sa calculator at sa periodic table na lang. Fe2O3, 15.999 times 3. So that's 159.687 Gmol. Okay, so we divide the mass by the molar mass and we'll get 1.566 times 10 raised to negative 3 mole of Fe2O3. So yeah, we're done. We're done. Isang calculation pa nga lang. Okay, so once we have the moles of iron 3 oxide, we will convert it to moles of iron using step number 2. Convert natin yan into moles of iron. Paano? Stoichiometry lang yan. Okay? Sir, paano ko yan i-convert? Stoic. Sir, paano yung stoic uli? Fraction yan. Diba? Kung naaalala nyo pa, ano yung nasa baba? Given substance. Okay? So, ano ba yung given substance natin? Fe2O3. Ano yung desired substance? The iron. So, mole iron. Okay? So, conversion lang to. Kaya nyo yan. Ngayon, tignan nyo yung equivalence ng iron to iron 3 oxide. Ano yung equivalence nila? If you have 1 mole of iron 3 oxide, how many moles of iron is equivalent to that? Isipin nyo. If you have 1 mole of Fe2O3, how many moles of iron ang meron tayo? Si Jan Zyrene. Any idea?
Sir, 2 po.
2 po. Kasi
dalawa po yung sa iron po na nakakontain niya.
Ayun. Kasi nasa formula na, no? Fe2. So that means 2 iron ang nandoon sa molecule na yon. Okay? So ganun lang. So lahat ng sagot actually nasa formula lang halos, di ba? Okay, so thank you Jan Zyrene, former student ko rin yan. Magagaling yung mga yan. Okay. So alam ko naman lahat kayo magagaling na. Okay. So yan. So ganun ang gagawin natin ha. So we are going to convert iron 3 oxide to iron by stoichiometry. Okay, so tignan mo lang yung equivalence ng formula na to the other formula, to other chemical formula. Then, by just looking at the subscript, pwede mo makita yung ratio nila. Okay? So, that means I will just multiply this by 2. Kasi 2 divided by 1 is 2, di ba? So, ito times 2 ko lang to. Yun na yung moles ng iron. Na-save ko pa ba dito sa calcu? 566 times 10 times 2. Okay, so this is the moles of iron. 3.132 times 10 negative 3 mole iron. Okay, so we're done with step number 2. Lapit na tayo, halfway na tayo eh. So for step number 3, we are going to convert the moles of iron into the mass of iron in milligrams. So paano yan? Stoic lang yan. Okay, so mass iron, so that's mole times the molar mass. Di ba naalala nyo pa? Kung naalala pa, kailangan maalala pa. Okay. So let's have the moles. So that's 3.132 times 10 raised to negative 3 mole ni iron times, what's the molar mass of iron? Tingin sa periodic table, 55.845 G mole. Okay. So the moles will cancel out. Yan. So the moles will cancel out and then you are left with grams, no? Nasave ko pa ba yan? Times 55,845. Okay. So, ano yung mass ng iron natin? 0.1749 grams iron. Ngayon, pwede na natin to gawing milligrams. Paano yan gagawing milligrams? Times 1,000. Okay, so that's 174.91 milligrams iron. So, yan yung nakalagay sa calculate. Nilagay ko muna. Anyway, di pa naman tayo yung final answer. So, yan, nandun na tayo. So, we just converted the moles of iron into moles of iron in milligrams. Ayun na yun. And then, lastly, ratio and proportion na tayo. Okay. So, if one tablet is equivalent to 15 milligrams, how many tablets are equivalent to 174.91 milligrams of iron? Okay, so ratio and proportion na lang yan. No? So to solve for the number of tablets, okay, so ilagay natin sa numerator 174.91 milligram iron. Ito yung kailangan natin. Divided by ilang iron per tablet. So, tignan natin. Sabi dito, each tablet provides 15 milligrams of iron. Okay, so that's 15 milligrams Fe per tablet. Okay, so as you can see, we can cancel the milligrams of iron, and then we are left with the number of tablets na lang. No? Okay, so that's divided by 15. Okay, 174.91 divided by 15. Okay, so that's 11.67 tablets. Or pwede mo na i-round off yan to 12 tablets. No? So, ganun ang gravimetry. No? So, pwede ka rin naman mag-ratio and proportion na, teka lang, check ko nga kung tama yung naiisip ko. Tagal ng ship solve eh. Ayan, so pwede rin naman ganito yung ratio and proportion nyo kung hindi nyo to maintindihan. Ganito yung isa pang way ng ratio and proportion. Di ba sabi natin, 1 tablet equals 15 milligram iron. So ngayon, you have 174.91 milligrams iron. How many tablets? Okay. Ayusin ko lang. How many tablets? Ang gagawin mo para maging ratio and proportion yan. Yung equal sign, lagay mo sa gitna, lagyan mo sila ng quotient mark. Then, ano gagawin? Crisscross. So, you solve for x tablets equal to, ano? Pwede yung ganito ha, 1 tablet times 174.91 milligram iron divided by 15 milligram iron. Cancel, cancel. X is equals to around 12. Pwede ganyang ratio and proportion. Pwede rin naman ganito na lang para mabilis yung ginawa ko. Okay? So, ganun. That's how gravimetric problems work. Ganyan yung process kapag nag-gravimetry tayo. So, sa gravimetry, minsan ang question dyan mula sa ascorbic acid, tanong doon, lemon juice, ganito yung equivalent ascorbic acid niya. Gano'ng karaming tablet ng potent, potency ba yun? Ay, hindi, iba yung potency pala. May ganun brand, di ba? Kunwari na lang, Immune Pro. O ilang Immune Pro yung katumbas niyan. Ganito lang yung gagawin mo dyan, okay? So, ganyan ha. So, that's how gravimetric analysis works, no? And as you can see, gamit na gamit ang stoichiometry all throughout. Basta you map out kung paano lang isosolve yung problem. No? Just read the problem multiple times so you will able to get an idea paano mo siya isosolve. Okay. Although hindi ako masyado maglalagay ng ganito sa quiz kasi i-reserve pa natin to sa sa gravimetry. So, chillax muna kayo. Although, at least may idea na kayo. Okay? So, that's how you solve for gravimetric analysis. Excuse me. Yung number 5, yung number 9, di ko nasasagutan. Kayo na bahala dyan. Okay, so ano yan? Paano nyo sasagutan yan? Bigyan ko kayo tips. Ito yung tip ko sa inyo. You convert the amount of sodium bicarbonate. Ayan. You convert this into moles of sodium bicarbonate. And then you convert it to the moles of acetic acid needed. Okay. And then convert mo siya into mass of acetic acid needed. And then eventually, i-include mo sa calculation yung 5% per weight vinegar. Okay. So parang ganito lang din yung process dyan. Okay. So dito papasok yung 5% per weight vinegar. Okay. So gusto ko kayo muna mag-explore niyan ha. Kasi by Sunday, dun ko i-upload yung answers. Okay. So gusto ko mag-practice kayo. Okay. So last one. Ito, ako na lahat magsasagot na ito. Ang dami. Okay, so let's answer this one. Ako lang pala. So gusto ko gawin nyo. Dito marami akong sasabihing tips, Kaya paki-save ang notes, para dito. Sagutan natin to. A solution was prepared by dissolving 1210 milligrams of K3 FeCN6, I forgot yung name nito, Ano yan complex, complexation stuff sa chem. Okay. Gumagawa yan ng coordinate systems pero nakalimutan ko na yung naming it's been a while. Pero yan. So ito yung molar mass niya and that was dissolved in sufficient water to give 775 milliliters solution. Calculate the following. the molar concentration of this, molar concentration of that, weight per volume, the millimoles of this, the ppm, the pK plus, and the PFECN6 solution. Okay? So, ano gagawin natin dito? Marami. Okay. So, before we start answering all the problems here, so, ano ba yung behavior ng substance na to when placed in water? Okay? So, this is an ionic compound, no? However, it's an ion contains metal. So, ibig sabihin, yung cation niya may metal, yung anion niya may metal din. Okay? Ganun kasing concept sa complexation, complexation something something sa chem. Anachem din yun, pero nakalimutan ko na yung mismong topic na yung naming lang. Although yung calculation same lang eh. Kalimutan ko lang pangalan niya. Okay. So anyway, so ang cation dito ay metal, pero yung anion, it includes metal pa rin, no? So, paano natin yan i-dissociate, no? So, for the quiz, ibibigay ko yung reaction if medyo complex siya, such as this one. Okay, so we have this compound. If you place this in water, it will dissociate into K plus, potassium ion, and the anion, which is this complex. Ang tawag dyan, complex talaga. Okay, so yan, dalawa yung ions na mapoform mo. Potassium ion and FeCN6 na. 3 minus. Ano yung kulang dito? Coefficients. Okay, so to balance this equation, lagyan mo ng 3 yung potassium and you're good to go. Okay? So always ganun gagawin nyo ha. Na-discuss na naman sa inyo dati yung reactions in aqueous solution. So kayang-kaya nyo na mag-balance ng equation like this. Okay? So yan. So yun. Well, let's proceed. Letter A. What is the molar analytical concentration of K3FeCN6? So when you say molar analytical concentration, molarity lang yan. Ang dami lang sinabi. Okay? So let's solve for that. The molar concentration of K3FeCN6. Again, kapag nilagay sa square bracket, concentration yan. Okay? So gaganyan ko na lang. So how do we solve for the molarity of this substance? Mass divided by molar mass times the volume of the solution. So ang mass natin ay naka-milligram. So you divide it by 1,000 and you will get 1.210 grams divided by the molar mass, which is already given, 329 Gmol. Okay, so Gmol times volume of the solution in liters, 775 ml. So that's 0.775 excuse me, liters. Calculate na lang yan. Siyempre, di yan kaya i-mental. Tinitigan pa natin yan. No? So, molarity lang yan, ha? Okay, so the answer is 4.743 times 10 raised to negative 3 mole per liter. Okay, so that's the concentration. Yan, good na tayo sa letter A. Letter B and letter C, sabay natin yan sa sagutan. Now, I will need to use this one for letters B and C. Ay, teka lang ha. Kopyahin ko lang to. Di nasama yung 3. Wait lang. Copy ko ta. And ito na pala mismo yung urong ko. Sana ganito din yung notebook natin, no? Yan. Okay, so for letters B and C, I will need to use the equation. para masagutan yung concentration ng K plus and ng FeCN6 negative 3. Paano kaya yung sasagutan ganito? Stoichiometry lang. Okay? So if the concentration of your K3 FeCN6 is ito, 4.743 times 10 raised to negative 3 molar, if yan yung concentration niya, ano yung concentration ng K plus and yung FeCN6? Ganito lang. Kung ano yung ginagawa sa stoich, pwede nyo rin gawin dito. Okay? 'Di ba sa stoichiometry, moles, 'di ba? Tapos i-multiply mo siya by the conversion factor. O, pwede rin yung molarity doon. Okay, so pwede rin molarity. Okay? Although, mas preferred ang moles na. Pero pwede rin yung molarity. Okay? So that means, for me to solve for this one, para ma-solve ko yan, I will convert this into moles of K plus, no? Na similar lang ng method, just like yung ating stoich, no? So let me do that, no? So, convert natin ito into concentration of that substance. Ito na yung mga technique, ha? Paki-note po. So, we start with this one. Then, i-convert ko siya to K plus. Using the balanced equation, 1 mole of K3 FeCN6 equivalent yan to how many moles of K plus? 3. So basically, you multiply the concentration by 3 lang, no? To get the concentration of K plus. So ganun lang. Times 3 lang. So 4, 7, 4, 3 times 10 raised to negative 3 times 3. So the concentration for letter B is 0.014229 molar. Pwede na yan. Copyin ko na lang lahat ng numbers muna. So, ganun lang. Ngayon, for letter C, ang tanong ay, eto naman, ano daw yung molar concentration niya? Hulaan nyo. The same lang as this one. Bakit? Kasi, ang coefficients ay 1 and 1. Okay, so since they have the same coefficient, kung ano yung molar concentration ng isa, yun na rin yung molar concentration ng kabila. Okay? So you just have to make use of your stoichiometry lessons to answer problems like this, no? So ganun lang. Ayan, easy lang, di ba? Parang no-brainer na to, no? Ganun talaga. Ulit-ulit lang yung stoich eh. So yan na yung mga techniques. Okay, so ganun lang po. So yan yung answer natin for B and C. Again, what's our basis? Stoichs. No? Letter D. What is the weight per volume percentage of K3 FeCN6? Okay, when we say percent weight per volume, that is just like density. Okay, so percent weight per volume, parang density lang yan, wherein the unit for weight must be grams, and for volume that's ml. Okay, so ano formula? Weight in grams divided by volume in ml times 100%. Bakit may 100%? Kasi may percent. May, ganun lang. So what's the weight of the solute in grams? 1.210. Sinabi na yun sa problem. And ito yun, no? Okay, so yan yun. And the volume of the solution in ml, so that's 775 ml times 100%. Ganun lang. Although this is uncommon, ha? Uncommon concentration unit yan. So the answer is 0.014229 156% weight per volume. Okay, weight per volume. So that's our answer for D. Letter E. The number of millimoles of K plus in 50 ml of this solution. So ang tanong ay millimole. So when we say millimole, ito yung symbol niya, M the small. Okay? So wag niyo siya lagyan ng mali siya. M mole lang yan. Millimoles. Okay? So yan. Although ginagawang meme yan sa Facebook. No? So that is millimoles. What is millimole? That is 1/1000th of a mole. Okay, so ang 1 mole ay equivalent to 1,000 millimole. No? So ganun yung equivalence niya. So yan. So ang hinahanap, millimole K plus in 50 ml solution. Okay, so for us to solve for the millimoles of K plus, alam na ba natin yung molarity ng K plus? Yes, ito yon. That's the molarity of K plus na. So, ibig sabihin, if we multiply the molarity by the volume, we can get the moles and then later convert it to millimoles. No? So, ganun yung gagawin natin. So, let's, dalawang ways dito. No? Method 1. Okay, so method 1 yun yung correct process talaga. So, solve mo mula yung mole ng K plus. So, that is molarity ng K plus times the volume of the solution in liters, di ba? So, molarity ng K plus, 0.014229 mole per liter times the volume of liters of your solution. Ito yon. Ito yung solution na sinasabi. Okay? So, hindi yung 775. 50 ml po. Ayusin ko ngayon sulat. So, 50 ml, you convert that into liters. That will be 0.05 liters. Okay. So, 0.014229 times 0.05. Okay. So, that will be 7.11 times 10 raised to negative 4 moles. And then, if you want to convert this into millimoles, convert mo lang. 1 mole, 1,000 millimole. So, you will get 0.711 millimole. Okay, so that's the millimoles of K plus in your solution. That's the long method, ang haba eh. Yan yung method 1. That's the correct process. Method 2 is the shortcut. Okay, so method 2 is the shortcut. So paki-take note yung mga shortcut. Okay, so if you want to solve for the millimoles of K plus, ganito na lang gagawin nyo. You get the molarity of K plus times the volume in ml. ml, okay? So, ml yung usapan. Bakit? Kasi tignan nyo. Tignan nyo ha. Kapag kinonvert nyo yung volume into liter, you divided, teka lang, asan yung mouse? Ayan. So, kapag kinonvert nyo yung volume into liters, that's divided by 1,000. And then later on, minultiply din natin siya by 1,000. Diba? To get the millimoles. Ibig sabihin, pwede naman pala yung ml na lang. And then, yung kung ano man sagot doon, millimoles agad. Okay? So, this technique is useful for titration problems. No? So, magagamit na ito sa titration. So, ini-introduce ko na ngayon pa lang. Okay? So, again, molarity times the volume in ml equals millimoles. Paano naman kapag kapag millimoles divided by volume in milliliters, ano sagot? Molarity, mole per liter. Okay? So, yun yung triangle natin dito. So, molarity, millimole. Ito, millimole. Then, ml volume. Okay? So kapag hinahanap nyo, kapag ang di-divide nyo ay millimole sa volume in milliliters, molarity yon. Pero if you multiply, if you multiply molarity with volume in milliliters, millimole yung makuha mo. Okay? So, ganun. So, let me just write the answer here. Times 50 ml. So, that's automatically 0.711 millimole. Okay? So, yan. Yan yung shortcut. Shortcut. So, yan. Pakinote na lang ha. Okay. So, let's have letter F. ppm of FECN. ppm of FECN6, -3. Okay. So for this problem, it asks us about the ppm of this anion in our solution. So, di ba, ppm is a concentration unit, di ba? And then molarity is also a concentration unit, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, it will involve another conversion ng concentration unit, no, from one to another, no. So, convert na naman tayo ng concentration unit, no? Okay, however, in this case, alam na ba natin yung concentration ng FeCN6? Yes, alam na natin. Asan yun? Ayun, naka-green, letter C. So, alam na natin yung concentration niya. So, that means we can convert that into ppm. How? Ganito lang. Okay? So, recall that ppm is the milligram per liter of solution. The milligram of your solute per liter of solution. Paano natin kukunin ang milligram ng solute? From the moles of your solute. Pwede ba natin makuha yung moles of solute? Yes. Using molarity. So from molarity, gagawin natin yung moles, then eventually gagawin natin yung grams, then finally milligrams. Yan yung scheme ng work natin. Okay? So again, from molarity, convert that to moles, then convert that to grams, then convert that to milligrams. Meron ka na nito. Paano yung liters of solution? Easy. You have 775 ml. Convert mo lang to liters. Yun na yun. Okay? So, ang matatagalan lang tayo ay yun sa pagkuha ng milligrams of solute. Okay? So, let me show you how it's done. Okay, so sulat natin yung flow para makita nyo. So we start with molarity, convert that to mole, then convert that to grams, then eventually milligrams, then finally ppm. So yan yung steps natin. Step 1, lagyan natin ng numbers. Step 1, mole. Paano natin kukunin yung mole ng FeCN6? Ba't kaya napuputol na yung sulat sa screen ko? Siguro marami na. Wipe ko lang ng tissue, ha? Wait lang. Wait lang, ha? Clean ko lang yung screen para hindi putol-putol yung sulat. Okay? So, sige. So, hopefully okay na yun. So, kunin natin yung mole. Ayun, okay na siya. So, mole ng anion. So, paano kinukuha yon? From molarity. That's molarity times the volume of the solution in liters. So, ano ba yung molarity? 4743 times 10 raised to negative 3. 4743 times 10 raised to negative 3 mole per liter times 0.775 liters. Sir, saan galing yung 775 liters? Ito oh. Ito yung solution eh. Yan yung volume ng solution. So, yun yung gagamitin natin. Okay. So, ganun lang. Solve yan. Calculate. Kung kayo inaantok na, ako rin na. Pero tatagan nyo lang. Kasi pag kapag sa weekends na kayo nag-review nito, magagahol kayo eh. So ngayon pa lang anuhin nyo na, absorb nyo na. 6, 7, 6 na. Okay, so that's the mole of our FeCN6 anion. Okay, calculation number 2. Gawin natin yung gram. Okay, so mass. No? So, paano yung mass? Edi mole times molar mass. So, 3.676 times 10 raised to negative 3 mole times the molar mass of FeCN6. No? Hindi kasama yung negative 3. Charge yun eh. So, kunin mo yung FeCN 12011 14007. Iron is, di ko kabisado. 55,845. Okay, so carbon times 6 yan. Nitrogen times 6 then because of the subscript. No? And because of this subscript, distribute mo yan. Okay? Just in case nakalimutan. Okay, so the molar mass is 211.953 G-mol. Okay, so multiply natin yan sa moles. So we have 0.77914 grams. Dinamihan ko yung digit kasi ko-convert natin yun sa milligrams eh. So yan, we have the grams already. Number 3, grams to milligrams. Di ano lang yan, mental na natin. That's 779.14 milligrams. Yun na yun. Then lastly, number 4, ppm na. So for ppm, that's milligrams divided by the volume of the solution in liters. So that's 779. Teka lang. That's 779.14 milligrams divided by, what's the volume of the solution again? In liters, 0.775 liters. No. So, divide natin sila. So, we will get ppm equal to 1,005.34 milligram per liter. Okay, so that's the final answer. 1,005 ppm. Ganon. That's how you convert one concentration unit to the other. Ang anong tip ko sa inyo pag gano'n yun? Hanapin nyo yung mass parate. Yun lang. Or hanapin nyo yung moles ng substance. As long as nakuha nyo na kasi yung mass and yung mole, pwedeng kahit anong concentration unit na yung gawin nyo. Okay? So, yun lang yung tip ko sa inyo. Okay? So, we're done for letter F. Finally, patapos na tayo. G and H. So, for G, we are asked what is the pK plus and the PFE CN6 minus 3. Okay? So, paano kinukuha yung P function? Pag may nakita kayo yung small letter P, then ang kasunod ay chemical substance, no? So, that's negative log of the concentration of K plus and the negative log ng concentration ng Fe CN6 anion. Question, alam na ba natin yung K plus concentration sa solution? Yes, kanina pa. Ayun siya. So, ito yung concentration ng K plus. We will plug it in to our negative log function. na lang. Okay? So, yun yung gagawin natin. So, that's negative log ng, ano yun? Di ko kabisado. Okay. So, 0.014229 molar. So, pag kinuha mo yung negative log nan, yun na yung pK plus. So, that's 1.85. And then, lastly, lapit na tayo, negative log ng concentration ng FeCN6. So, ito yung concentration nun. Yan. 4743. Kopyahin natin doon. 4.743 times 10 raised to negative 3. Plug in. So, that's 2.32. Ay, sa wakas, tapos na. Okay, so, we're done. Okay, so that's how you solve for the different problems dito sa solutions. No? Ang dami, no? Pero the underlying concept is the same. As long as you know how to convert mass to moles, then from one concentration unit to the other, basta alam niyo yung mga ganung bagay, you're good to go. Makaka-graduate kayo sa Anachem. Okay? So, basta ganun lang. Ulit-ulit lang yan. So, what I want you to do is to practice, no? So, yung solutions dito sa ating pinagagawa, ipopost ko yan sa Sunday. So, kasi may gagawin ako sa Saturday. Okay? So, yan. And by the way, bago tayo mag-end ng class, may ganitong questions sa quiz. Although hindi ito, not exactly ayan. Similar lang. Note nyo pa rin to, additional to. Kunwari, sa question, sabi doon, 5 ml of 0.3 molar potassium nitrate is added with 10 ml of 0.5 molar KCl. What is the final concentration of K+? Pag pinaghalo mo yan, paano nyo kaya sasagutan yan? So, kung hindi nyo alam, madali lang yan. Okay, so paano gagawin? When we say concentration here, molarity lang din yan. Okay. So, molarity, this mole per volume in liter. Ito yung question ko sa inyo. If I mix the two substances, nagbabago ba yung moles ng K+? Yes, magbabago yan. Bakit? Iba yung mole neto, iba yung mole ng K+ dito sa mole ng K+ doon. So, ibig sabihin, pag pinagsama ko yung dalawa, parang ano na rin yan, parang pinag-add ko yung dalawang moles, di ba? So, magbabago yung mole. Pag-add ko kung ano yung mole neto, doon din sa mole nan. How about the volume of the solution? Magbabago ba yan? Yes, then. Bakit? 5 ml to, 10 ml yon. Pag pinagsama mo, ilang ml yon? 15 ml. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, I will also consider yung pag-add ko ng volumes no, dito. So, yung pag-add ng moles, isasama ko yan dito. Pati yung pag-add ng volumes, isasama ko rin sa computation ko ng final concentration ng K+. So, let's solve for the moles. No? Okay. So, sabi natin, if I add this and this, may corresponding moles yan. So, isulat ko na sa isang buong equation. So, 5 ml times 0.3 mole per liter plus 10 ml times 0.5 mole per liter. Ano unit na to? ml times molarity. Millimoles. Na? So, millimole to, millimole yan. So, ito, this is the millimole of K in KNO3. 1:1 lang yung ratio. Bakit? Isa lang yung K dun sa formula. Isang K plus, isang K lang din. So, as is yan. Sir, paano kunwari may 3 yan? K3, something. Pag may 3 yan, edi times 3 mo yan. Okay? Ganito kasi yung mangyayari sa titration. So, ngayon pa lang, binibigyan ko na kayo ng hint. No? So, kunwari may 3 dyan, edi lagyan mo ng 3 yung harap ng parenthesis. Okay? So, ganun. So, this one is from this part of the question, from potassium nitrate. And this part, no, ay dito galing. So, ito, millimole yan ng K plus from potassium nitrate. This one is the millimole, millimole of potassium chloride. I mean, millimole ng potassium from potassium chloride. And then, lastly, yung volume. So, pinag-add ko yung dalawang volume, so ipag-add ko lang din sila sa denominator. So, what will be my final answer? So, this will be 1.5 millimole plus 5 millimole divided by 15 millimole. But millimole? 15 ml. So, eventually, millimole divided by ml is molarity. Okay? So, that's 6.5 divided by 15. The answer is 0.43 molar K plus. So, ganun po. When you are asked about the concentration of your ions when you mix solutions, ganyan yung gagawin. You have to account for the changes of the mole of your substance if there's any. Pag nagbabago yung concentration ng inyong ions, you have to include that na. And then kapag nagbabago yung volume ng solution mo, you also have to include that info na para makuha nyo yung correct answer. Okay? So there are some questions like that sa quiz. No? So I want you to practice lang. Also, kung gusto niyo na maraming questions na mapagpa-practicean, remember, I uploaded textbooks dito sa ating Canvas. Or kung nakabili ka na kayo ng libro at napadala na sa inyo, yun, pwede nyo magamit yon. Kasi yung mga nasa worksheet, dun ko lang kinukuha eh. So, pwede tumingin kayo dito kay Chang. Meron yung questions about that. Hanapin nyo lang yung reactions and aqueous solutions. Itong quantitative chemical analysis din, may ganun. Okay? So, with that, we're done. Yan, so tapos na tayo. No? So, anyway, I'll see you again on Monday. Ay, yes po. Selvin. Any questions pala from the class, if you have any? Pero kung nahihiya, pwede naman mag-PM na. Okay? Napindot lang ba? Okay. So anyway, so with that, no? If you have any questions, concerns, and nahihiya kayo sa class, pwede nyo naman ako i-PM, no? So, ganun. So, just let me know about your concerns. Again, I will upload the answers sa worksheet by Sunday. Yung quizzes natin, mag-start siya mag-open mga Monday. Okay, sa mga Monday. So, that will be good for 3 days. No? Ilang questions, sir? 20 questions. May solving, may concept, may identification lang. Easy lang. No? Mga, what is electrolyte? Kahit di nyo nabasahin yun, okay na yan. Ito. Saan po makikita yung uploaded video nitong Confe? Okay. So, uploaded video ng ating lessons, dito nyo makikita. Okay, so dito punta kayo sa youtube.com Mr. Beast. Ayan, hindi. Ano lang. Ang tagal ng YouTube ba? Bagal ng converge na. Punta lang kayo sa YouTube, dito sa aking channel. J Chemi. Okay. So yan, J Chemi. Andito po yung videos. AY 2021 S2 class recordings. No? So, na-upload ko na rin yung last discussion natin. Okay? Kunwari, ito. Ito yung last Monday. Na-upload. Ay, hindi. Saan ba yung last Monday? Ito yung last Monday. Kung hindi kayo naka-attend, panoorin nyo na lang, ha? Review kayo. So, mas maganda kung ito 1080p nyo yung, kung ito 1080p nyo yung yung quality ng video para mas makita nyo yung sulat kamay ko. Okay. So, ganun lang. Okay. So, yan. Then, later on, mga mamayang gabi, papost ko rin yung video ng class na to dito sa playlist na to. So, again, punta lang kayo sa playlist na to. Punta lang kayo dito sa playlist na to. AY221 S2 class recording. Andiyan po lahat, no? So, I'll upload that mamayang gabi para makapag-review kayo. Okay? So, yan. Stay safe always. So, yan. Ingat po and pahinga na muna kayo, no? So, I believe wala na ata kayong class after me. So, kung meron, edi good luck. No? Kung wala na, magpahinga muna at magsagot na ito. Okay? So, good luck and ingat. Bye-bye. Okay. Thank you.